What is up? Welcome back, everybody. My name is Brandon Osborne. You may better know me as Control for Days. I am an avid Yawgmoth player in the modern format, and today I am going to be running a list that I like to call Hot Takes. We are doing some very unconventional things, but I think there's a chance this list today might be better suited for the current metagame than the more stock lists that you see running around. I'm going to explain my card choices. I'm going to explain why we're getting so crazy today. And I guess the league matches will show us whether or not my hypothesis and my crazy ideas are actually correct. So let's pull up the list. Let's start here. Okay, we are running an Aether Vial list. Aether Vial has been performing very well for me. This is probably the card I get asked about the most. On a daily basis, I probably have at least 5 people asking me about Aether Vial. I haven't tested it enough to make a concrete decision about whether or not it's the best card for the deck right now. So I need to test it more. I'm going to take this opportunity to do so. I'm filming this video on Friday night. I am playing the challenge tomorrow morning. If this list does well tonight, I will be playing this list in the challenge tomorrow. So on Monday, if you see my video and it's an Aether Vial list, then you're looking at this again today and you're like, you already played that deck. That's the reason why I'm filming this before that. But Aether Vial has been performing well. We're running a play set in this list. In addition, I think hot take number 1, Geralf's Messenger is not good right now. And for that reason, we have Shade Messenger. And I am slotting in Sheoldred the Apocalypse in the main deck for that slot. I'll explain a little bit more once we get to the sideboard as to why it's in the main deck. I'm also playing a Patron over the 4th Grist. Talked about this in the past in my other Vial list videos. The reason we're doing this is because you don't have the same number of 1-mana dorks in this list, and for that reason, Grist on turn 2 is not as accessible, so we're shaving on those. The mana base, I'm actually playing a Yawgmoth. I played it in my video this past Friday. I'm running it again today. All of these things, all these changes are a consideration to preserve life total and deal with aggressive decks. That's why we're doing that. As always, 1 Prosperous Innkeeper, 2 Endurance, 3 Eldritch Evolution, and all of the normal stuff in the main deck. Moving on to the sideboard. Chalice of the Void is a card that hasn't really done anything for me so far in the games that I've tested it, but once again, in theory, I like the idea of running it, especially in a Vial deck. For the same reasons I stated about Grist, you're not going to cast Necromentia on turn 2. Chalice of the Void is kind of like the equivalent in terms of you'll bring it in similar matchups. 2 Thoughtseize, 1 Haywire Might, 2 Veil of Summer, Scam. We're trying to out game plan Scam. Scavenging Ooze, 2 Endurance. All of this stuff is pretty stock. 3 Force of Vigor as well. Running 1 Magus of the Moon, easier to cast in a Vial deck. You can just Vial it in. We are also running 1 Necroplasm. I moved Sheoldred to the main deck because I wanted to make room for Necroplasm, and I think this card might actually be good right now for the reason of the 8 Blast deck that's popularized right now. Hammer Time and Prowess, and then on top of that, Rhinos is kind of making a little bit of a resurgence as well. So for those reasons, I am trying to get a little bit targeted with my sideboard and hit those decks with this Necroplasm. We'll see if it's actually good or not. We will find out. We're going to jump into this Modern League. Let's do it. Alright, my friends, we are jumping in match 1 of our Modern League. We are playing against JulianJohn. A Gigantha has entered the revealed zone. We are on the play, and we have a poopy 7-card hand that we are not going to keep. I filmed a video last night, and I had a lot of hands that looked like the one we just had in our opener. I'm hoping not to have a repeat of that 2-3 league today. Our 6-card hand is a keep. We're going to ship a Chord of Calling, and we are going to go with the... Oh, I thought we were on the play. I can't count. 3 is greater than 2. I am hoping not to have a repeat of last night's league today. They lead Basic Mountain. I'm guessing this is Prowess. Basic Mountain into Ragman. Let's see if we can pull a Young Wolf off the top. Another Geist. So we're going to take a hit off this Ragavan for at least a turn. I think I'm going to lead on a shock. Life total is going to be a little bit threatened. And this might actually be the 8 blast deck. I think they run Ragavan. Not 100% sure, but I think they do. I've been wanting to play against that deck. And I kind of want to get... Okay, yes it is. I want to get a feel for it because I'm anticipating seeing it at some point in a competitive event. Oh damn, they got my Hierarch. That's unfortunate. Look at that, ramping themselves out. Where's your Necroplasm when you need it? Alright, Basic Forest, not a bad draw. We'll get our Geist, and we will pass the turn. This kind of shuts down their attackers. They only have 2 card types in the graveyard, so Dragon's Rage is not hitting for 3 as of yet. Depending on how they sequence their turn here, we could potentially get a Sheoldred next turn, or just a Yawgmoth, which is also pretty good. What is this thing? Alright, we are taking some damage. They have 3 cards in hand, 2 cards in hand, 1 card in hand. Why are they being so mean? Alright, we'll see what they do here. If they attack, we're definitely blocking. They don't really have any good attacks. I don't think they're going to. And we will move to our turn. So from here, they have 1 card in hand. I think we can just play out Yawgmoth, play out Geist. What does this thing do? Sacrifice, create a 2/2 Samurai. Okay, they're gonna have quite a bit of card cycling with these blood tokens if they want to make use of it. I think we're just gonna build out our board state for 1 more turn, and then next turn we're gonna get ourselves either a Yawgmoth or a Sheoldred. We're gonna play out the Young Wolf here, and we'll pass back. Got our blockers up. So if we can hold this down like 1 more turn, I think we'll be ahead. I've been saying all week, I think this matchup is probably favored for us. I don't know for sure. I don't know for certain. But I feel like we have the cards necessary to beat it. So we'll see if I'm correct. Pass the turn to them. They untap. What are you doing over there? Okay. And they are just passing the turn. I like this. I like this a lot. All right, we draw our Sheoldred, which is not what I wanted to do. Yeah, that kind of sucks. But we're in a position where we can get ourselves a Yawgmoth here. And if we had another land, I could court and get a Blood Artist and try to kill. We do not have another land, so I don't know that I can necessarily do that. I think I'm just going to leave Yawg up and then pass the turn, see what they do. Feeling Yawg is probably going to die. 3 mana. Alright, you get some 1/1s. Be my guest. 2 cards in hand. Mishra's Bauble, sure. Still only 2 card types in the graveyard. They'll have 3 with the Bauble, but still not Delirium for the Dragon's Rage here. Okay, they get themselves a 2/2. And I feel like we're just going to be moving to our turn and killing them, I think. That's what it feels like. Of note, they still do have a mana up with this Ignoble here. Okay, no attacks. And they are dead. I'm saying that here and now because it's true. Play out this Young Wolf. Okay, they're going to Galvanic Blast my Yawgmoth, and then they're going to die in response. Cord for 2, get a Blood Artist, GG. And I guess the question from here is, as we combo out, do we let the last point of damage be the Yawgmoth going to our graveyard on an account of them galvanic blasting our Yawg? Is that the move? Just to kind of put it in their face a little bit. Like you shouldn't have done it. Alright, they're making me go through this right now. Hopefully there's a scoop. I'm going to request loop scoop in the comments section. If they want to waste our time, that's fine. I'll churn through this. It's not a big deal. Been here, done this before. Don't think I'm timing out in this matchup. Target the Geist, sacrifice the Geist, drain for 1, rinse and repeat. And I kind of want to just like get a Hepatra Not that I need to, but I think it would be more fun that way. If I get the opportunity, I'm going to do that. Just because my opponent's not scooping here. They want to make this difficult. That's fine. It's fine. We can do that. Another thing is too, I just drew a Grist. I feel like Grist is not as good in this metagame as it's been in metagames past because of the fact of how aggressive it is. Like decks like this. Like Grist kind of gets run over by like Dragon's Raid Channeler and like really low to the ground decks. So, alright, making us click through all this. That's fine. So in like a 4-bird, 4 Hierarch build, I definitely still want 4 Grist, but I feel like in this build, it's okay not to have the full play set. Alright, I just drew 5,000 cards. Alright, thanks for wasting both of our time. Sideboard, we are going to bring in Force of Vigors, Haywire Might. I wonder if Chalice is good here. I think maybe on the play we'll bring in Chalice, but not on the draw. We are going to bring in our Necroplasm, we're going to bring in our Durance, we're going to bring in our Ooze. Quite a few cards to bring in here. Sideboarding out, I think we can get rid of at least 1 Grist. I think Vials are probably not great on the draw. Let me see what this looks like here. 3 Force of Vigor, 1 Might. I think we're going to get rid of a Chord of Calling. This is one of those matchups where we're just like, we're chump blocking in the early game. So I don't know if Chord of Calling is great. Maybe we get rid of a 2nd Grist and maybe a Geist. Geist is nice because it evos into our Sheoldred. Maybe a 2nd Chord. Chord's a little slow. I think maybe we'll go with this configuration. I imagine for the next iteration of the sideboard guide, which I'll be releasing in the next 2 weeks, I will likely have this deck on there. I think it makes sense to put that on there. Alright, this 7-card hand is lacking a 1-drop. So if they have like a Ragavan, this is going to be bad. They begin with 7 cards. This is really close. I'm going to keep this and see how this plays out. If they have a Ragavan, I'm going to be in trouble. It feels like they don't have a Ragavan. Okay, Courier I'm fine with. Sure. They have 4 cards in hand. Back up to 5 cards with the Bobble. Play out a land, and I will pass the turn. So I don't have to worry about fetching basics, so I can fix my mana here. Because they're playing Urza Saga, they're not playing any Blood Moon effects, so we don't have to worry about that. Take 1 from that. Why do I have a stop on my damage step? Okay, Springleaf Drum, sure. And a Voldarian Epicure, sure. All right, get our Tomb, no. If we could draw like a Yawgmoth, that would be really good. Ask and you shall not receive. All right, 2. Play out our Innkeeper. We'll ramp our mana a little bit, and we will pass the turn from here. So we're pretty far behind. They're definitely ahead here. Definitely a bit ahead. Innkeeper dead. Fortunately, their creatures suck, so that's okay. Saga goes up to 2. They have a Bobble. They only have 1 card in hand now. They'll get the Saga token, but okay, we'll take 2 here. They can refill their hand with this Courier here, which is annoying, but it is what it is. Okay, Geist is fine. I think we'll play out our Catacombs past the turn, and next turn we'll be able to cast 2 spells. This thing being a 4/4 is going to be kind of rough, but Necroplasm will be able to wipe their board on their next turn, get rid of both the constructs, which will be nice. I'm going to play around a Pithing Needle here. I'll fetch. We'll get a basic forest. JIC, just in case. Just in case. They do something crazy. There's Needle. Knew about that one. Named Yawgmoth. 2nd Saga, sure. We're going to take quite a hit here. And we're going to block the Bowmat here. Mr. Bowmat. And I wonder if this Endurance is going to die here. If they have a removal spell for it. They do. Shrapnel Blast. Would have been a lot cooler if they Shrapnel Blasted sacrificing their Bowmat. I would have liked that more. Alright, we're taking a big hit. We're down to 6. Can we stabilize? They have 1 card in hand. It's not a bad one. Not a bad one. We're going to go down to 5, so if they have another Shrapnel Blast, that will get us here. We'll play out our Necroplasm, and this is why this card is in the deck. I'll play out the Geist. Alright, so we can deal with what's on board. Whether or not we can deal with what's in their hand, that's another story. Like I said, they have 4 cards under this Bomat Courier, so I think we need to get a little lucky from this point. Okay, Saga goes up to 2, Den of the Bugbear. And they're going to swing, I would imagine. Sure. I will gladly block. And they're going to put 5 cards into their hand. Bolt, targeting me. Sure. Down to 2. I'd say it's pretty good value, drawing 5 cards there. Pretty decent. Feels like we're dead. Galvanic Blast, Shrapnel Blast, Lightning Bolt, Shock, Voltdalen, Epicure. That one's not going to do it. Down to 1. Research deck, sure. They have 3 cards in hand. So this is going to wipe their board, which is nice. Another Geist. Play out our Ooze. I don't know if this is going to be good enough here. So Necroplasm's going to wipe the board, and then we're going to eat one of the Epicures. So we're at 2 life. They do have the Ramunap, so if they can add an extra mana here, that will just be enough to kill us. See if they have a way to accelerate into that there. That would be pretty... Okay, yeah, we're dead. We're dead. That'd be pretty crazy if we were able to stabilize from that point, but clearly not. Alright, game 3. I think I'm going to bring in Chalices here. Try to Chalice on 1. I think that shuts them down pretty hard. And I think we can board out a Geist at this point. No, maybe that's just like too reactive. Maybe we don't. Maybe we do, maybe we don't. I don't know. I don't think we do. I don't think we do that. Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to submit the same 60. We're on the play this time, so I think our chances are greater to win this game. Alright, we have a turn 2 Wall of Roots, turn 3 Endurance. A little slow, but I think we're going to keep it. We also have a Boseiju, which is nice in this matchup. It does stuff. Then into a Spellbomb. Sure, I am a-okay with that. Okay, if we can draw a Young Wolf, that would be best case scenario. Not a Young Wolf. Whatever happened to like ask and you shall receive doesn't seem to be working for me. Oh well. So turn 2 we have our Wall of Roots. They play out their second land. We'll see what they do with this. They play a Synthesizer into a Bloodstained Mire. They only get that till end of turn, right? Yes, so they can't cast that. So they should have held their land for a turn there. A little bit of a mistake on their part. Turn 3 we get another Chord of Calling. That's not bad. So we can chord into another Wall of Roots and then get a Yawgmoth from there. Or into like an Undying creature. Bolt me, sure. Light up the stage. Saga and Synthesizer. They have 4 cards in hand. Spellbomb they can't activate right now. I wonder if I get a... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I could get a Hepatra, which they're going to kill with the Spellbomb, which isn't the end of the world. Could also get a Haywire Might to hit this Saga. Gain some life. Blood Artist. Could also get a... I can just get like a Geist. Maybe that's the best thing. Now, this is during their main phase. That's an oops. Yeah, probably just a Geist is fine. Scavenging Ooze doesn't really do anything. Yeah, we'll just get a Geist. It's fine. Good old Geist. Okay, and we just draw into our Yawgmoth. So from here, I wonder if we just pass the turn. Like play our land, pass the turn, get a Sheoldred, and then just like gain a ton of life on our next turn. Is that the move? I think that might be the move. I have to check to see if Shrapnel Blast is an instant. Okay, it is. Good to know. Good to know. Okay. I'm gonna fetch now. Get this out of the way. We're at 15 life. They have 4 cards in hand. Let's see what they do. They're a little tight on mana right now. 1 mana. Dragon's Rage. Sure. Synthesizer. Sure. Bobble into the graveyard. Let's see what they reveal off the Synthesizer. Brainstone. Yikes. Zoinks. Alright, I would like to get Sheoldred, please. I hear that guy is good when you're trying to gain life. Cord for 4. How do you feel about that? Feel good? Let's get Sheoldred. Cool. This is what we call metagaming. Ooh, I like that one. Mr. Yawgmoth would like to enter play. And then I would like to draw a lot of cards and deal you a lot of damage. 2 life. Okay. Okay, and they scoop. Can't hold me down. Let's go. All right, everybody. We're back in this. This is match 2 of our Modern League. Currently 1-0, playing against good old Townley 1987. We are on the draw. Apparently we can't win a die roll. Hand is a little slow, but I think we're going to keep this. This is a good old turn 1 Aether Vial, which we like. Unless we get Thoughtseized, and then we don't like it. We don't like it very much. See if our Aether Vial is going bye-bye. Yep, that is unfortunate. That is a strange turn of events for the worst until the Thoughtseized bug rears its head and we draw another Aether Vial off the top. Let's go. Let's go. Excuse my excitement, but it just had to be. All right, they play Castle Lochwain. I wonder if this is that deck that does stuff. Mono Black Coffers. I wonder if that is what this is, and it looks like it with the Expedition map. I have not seen this deck in a long time. It is strange seeing this deck because I don't think it's very good. All right, we're getting our lands here. Fortunately, this is not an Urborg, which is good for us. This will turn on their coffers to make mana if they need it to, but I think that's a trade-off we're willing to make to make sure I don't yield here. Their turn. Okay, they play coffers. Adds 1 mana as it stands. They're going to be able to get themselves a an Urborg, so they'll be able to play that out next turn. We're going to put our Hierarch into play. Might die. We'll see. See if this thing survives or not. It does. We like that. We will tick up our Vial. We will play a land. All right, things are actually shaping up kind of nicely here. We'll lead with an attack for 2, and then we're going to play our Sheoldred. I think they might play Damnation in this deck. I think they do. So that could be something that could kind of ruin what we're trying to do, but I think we play out the Sheoldred here. And then next turn our Grist will be able to Vial in and we'll be able to Evo on the same turn. So they're going to take 2 off the Sheoldred. Hopefully there's no board wipe here. 1, 2, 4. Okay, that I can deal with. That's fine. 4 mana. Sure. You can kill my Hierarch. Do what makes you happy. Alright. We're going to uptick here. Yes. We drew a Forest. Not great. We don't really have anything good to get with our Evo as it stands. Do we? Do we have anything good? Where's my deck list? Patra's meh. Can't get a Yawg. Sheoldred's dead. Wouldn't be able to get it anyway. I guess we could just like plus the Grist, Evo the token into a Geist, and then swing for 3. It's kind of weak though. My only concern is if I don't cast the Evo, my concern is that it just goes away. Alright, we're going to activate this Vial. Play our Grist, plus the Grist. Oh, we got 2 tokens. Nice. Nice. I think we're going to attack with this Wolf. Play out my land. And what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? What would you do? What would you do in this situation? Would you Evo? Like our best Evo target is an Endurance, I guess. I don't know. I'm just gonna pass. Might be wrong to pass here, but all right. Turn 5 for them. They have a lot of mana, or they will have a lot of mana, especially if they can cast another land, and they do. Mana of all colors of the rainbow. 5 Golos. Okay, this is a little bit of a problem if they can activate that, but we can actually kill the Grist, kill it with Grist. So it's not out of control as of yet. That's a little bit problematic, So they're going to be able to create a lot of mana off of that. I don't think we'd uptick. I think we just stay where we are. Okay, so we're definitely killing Golos. And then from there, what do we do? 1, 2, 3, 4. Put them down to 9. Grist, Evo, and 5 them. So we can put them down to 4. Okay, we're going to lead by sacrificing the young wolf here. Definitely killing the Golos. We're going to swing for 2, I think. Not sure what this is. Okay, they cast main deck Surgical Extraction. That seems terrible, if I'm being candid. I like the artwork though. I think the artwork's cool. Still not better than the original, but respectable. Alright, we're going to swing for 2. And now I think I'm going to Evo. Evo, and I'm going to put maybe like a Blood Artist? Or just a Geist? Geist is probably the best. We'll go with that. So if they have like an Archon in their hand, that's not great for us, but we can deal with that. Okay, they play out a land. 1, 2, 7 mana, 12 mana. What you doing, bro? 14 mana, 15 mana. What do they have for 15 mana? Okay, this we don't really care about. I think they gain that life. It's weird they're targeting Grist with that. Sure. They're at 25. They bought themselves some time. And they do have the castle, so they're going to be able to draw 2 cards a turn. Hey, he's back. She's back. At this point, I think I'm going to uptick the Vial. We'll go up to 4. Right on cue. Uptick our Grist. Vial in our Yawg. Alright, and now the plan. Can we kill them? Another Yawgmoth. Okay, I'm going to swing for 4. And the reason I'm swinging for 4 and not just for 3 is because I'm going to be sacrificing this insect token to minus here, so... Okay, that is a good draw. We still have a land drop this turn as well. Alright, so that's just game. GG. Bad deck. GG. Cool deck, but bad deck. I'm going to type into my chat loop / scoop. Let's see if they respect the loop or not. Or if they want to waste time. Do you have any way to kill me? Yes, I do. Blood Artist. Okay, and they scoop. They said, do you have a way to play it this turn? I said yes, and then they scooped. All right, we're bringing in our Magus this game. We are going to bring in, I think, our Haywire Might, our Veil of Summers. I think our Thoughtseizes are decent as well. I think there might be an argument for a Force of Vigor. Might be. Opponent says GG. Now I feel bad. I feel bad that I made fun of their deck. That is unfortunate. All right, sideboarding. I think we'll start with this 6, these 6. Put an Endurance back, maybe. That's in the maybe pile. I think we're gonna get rid of an Evo. Maybe, maybe not. All right, so not damage-based removal for the most part. So I think we're gonna shave at least 1 Wall of Roots. I think Young Wolf is probably pretty bad. If they have Karn, Vial is going to be really bad. So I might shave on a Vial, which feels weird doing, but I think we can maybe get rid of Hepatra as well. They might actually have a ley line out of the sideboard. My train of thought right now is all over the place if that wasn't apparent. I think a Grist probably, a Cord, and another Young Wolf. We'll keep the double endurance. I've seen these lists with persist in them. I don't know if that's normal or not. I don't know what to think. Maybe we get rid of the endurance and we bring back in another Wall of Roots. Or we hedge with a Force of Vigor. I'm going to hedge with a Force of Vigor. We're going to do that. Opening 7 solid. We're going to keep this. Yes, please. Please and thank you. They mulligan to 6. Townley 87 mulligans to 6. And they keep their 6-card hand. I do believe they have a fair amount of discard. A relic, okay. Not discard. So that means we're getting our Vial in play. Urborg, so now our swamp produces 2 black mana. I suppose maybe I should have fetched there. That might have been... Probably doesn't matter. Okay, they play out a swamp. They pass the turn. We're going to tick up our Vial here. Yes. drew into a grist, which is fine. I think I'm gonna make the mana efficient play and just play out my Blood Artist, and then pass the turn from here. They have 4 cards in hand. Let's see what they do on their turn here. I feel like Blood Artist might die. They're tapping 2 mana. All right, he gone. He gone. Blood Artist is dead. Blood Artist is gone forever. Do you still have Sheoldred in the deck? Maybe I should have cut the Sheoldred. Maybe. We will see. All right, from here, I'm gonna Vial in the Hierarch, I believe. Hierarch might die here. We'll see. Untap. Okay. I'm gonna Vial in my Yawgmoth before I uptick here. They're tapping 3 mana for something. Are they killing my Hierarch? They're marching my Hierarch. Okay. If we draw a land, that's pretty good for us because we can Evo our Yawgmoth. We're gonna uptick. Yeah, if we can Evo into a, that stinks. The plan was to Evo into a Blood Moon effect, but unfortunately, it did not work out that way. Depending on what they do, we can potentially have a pretty good turn next turn. Grist, Evo. We'll see if we get the chance to do that. They're adding 3 mana. Another relic. Are they going to draw 2 cards with both the relics? It's weird that they activated the Coffers instead of just tapping a mana, unless they have... Okay, sure. Sure, that's fine. They have 1 mana floating. Interesting they don't pop one of the relics there. A little odd. Okay, we're going to uptick. Yes. Twilight Mirror. Not bad. So I'm going to activate here. Yes. Put our Grist into play. Plus our Grist. And I guess the question from here is, do we get ourselves a Blood Moon effect? Or do we just play out our Yawgmoth this turn? Like, they can't do too much, I don't think. Like, we'll still be able to get Yawg in play next turn, as long as we have the Vial. So I think we're actually gonna do that. We're gonna get our Blood Moon. Swing with the Hierarch. They're down to 21. I guess the way I get punished here is if they have a discard spell. So we'll see what they have. They have a Thoughtseize. Okay, get themselves a Profane Tutor, and they pass the turn. Relic. Get rid of our Hierarch. Sure. Get rid of our Yawgmoth. Sure. Uptick our Vial. Yes. Moving to our main phase here. Dryad Arbor. It's neither here nor there. Uptick our Grist. We're going to swing for 3. Push them in the red zone. Play out our Dryad Arbor, and we will pass the turn. Okay, they have 1 more turn before they can fire off this Profane Tutor. What they get with that, I am not sure. With only 1 black mana, I guess they can find some way to kill the Magus. Alright, we're going to put our Yawg into play. Okay, we will not. Move to our turn. Can't cast this Geist. Well, I guess technically we can, but that would not be, I don't think that would be wise. So we're going to plus our Grist to start with, and then we'll just, hey, we wanted that. We'll move to attacks 2, 4, 6, 7. All right, swing for 7. So they can't Thirst this Magus. They can't Fatal Push. Well, I guess they can Fatal Push it. They sacrifice a Relic and then they can push it. So if that's what they have, that is an option for them. See what they get. Profane Tutor on the stack. Big fan of that art. That's got to be Richard Kane Ferguson, if I had to guess. It's pretty sweet. I wish this card was actually good. Oh, they just go basic here. Turn off auto yields. Damnation. Okay, so we're going to draw a bunch of cards. And my hope is one of these cards is another Yawgmoth. Okay, it's kind of like another Yawgmoth. Damnation, I draw 6. No Yawgmoth. We will exile our Dryad Arbor. So here I can Besage you one of the Coffers. I don't know if that's worth it or not. And then exile the Besage you. Maybe I do that? I think we'll do that. Oh, actually, oh, that was a mistake. I was supposed to get rid of the Urborg. That was a mistake. Ugh. It's always the worst when like you realize you make a misplay like right as you're making the misplay. Feels bad. Damnation resolves. They pop a relic. I have 1 mana floating, of which I can do nothing with it. Lose our mana and pass the turn. Well, they pass the turn back to us. No. Blooming Marsh, sure. So we go infinite on our next turn, depending on what they do. So I'm going to leave with an uptick on the Grist, play out the Mire, and then we're going to hit him where it hurts. We're going to hit him for 4. I think pressuring them is just the thing to do right now. They're down to 7. And depending on what happens here, we potentially have lethal next turn. They have 2 cards in hand. 6 mana in pool. 5, 4, 3, 2. Golos, sure. This is kind of a similar scenario to our last game with Golos, where they get their cataracts and now we're just going to kill Golos. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if they're tapping out, that is not good news for them. Thirst, kill our Grist. Sure. We'll get rid of our Aether Vial there. Okay, guy, I think you're just dead. No, we'll keep it at 4. Alright, that makes things really, really easy. Vial, put our Yawgmoth in play. I guess I should play the Innkeeper first, that was a mistake. Okay, and then from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so I can just find my Sheoldred. I can also, I mean, I can just find, there's so many things I can find here. I can do that. Yeah, I can just, this makes things easier. I don't even have to go that route. Play out another Geist. All right, that also works. Cord for 4. Get a Sheoldred. Actually, let's just get a Hepatra. At 17 life. This deck is so sweet. It's so good. So good when it's doing its thing, for sure. Okay, now I'm just gonna mow this thing down. Sorry, Golos. You did. Okay, and they scoop. 2-0. We're doing it. All right, we are back. Round 3, Modern League. We are playing against wookfaced. Great name. We rolled the higher number, so I think that means we get to go first. Let's get after it. Opening 7. Yeesh. I don't know about this one. It's a little heavy on lands. It's tempting because we have two redraws with the peat land, but the issue is that it's just like really slow. And I don't know what wookfaced is doing, but I don't trust them. I don't trust them at all. I think we're gonna mulligan this one. All right, I like my 6 better. We'll keep that, get rid of a Vial. And I will play out our Vial here. Twilight Mirror into Vial, go. What am I playing? Nobody knows. I had a feeling I was gonna see one of these on the other side of the battlefield. Not happy about it. I think it's probably a good thing that we mulliganed our opener though. So I wonder if I fetch and get Dryad Arbor to deal with this Ragavan, or if I just play out the Hierarch. I think me playing out the Hierarch, it kind of signals to them that I have another 1-drop. And I wonder if they think about that and then they hesitate with their decision making. But then again, if they're playing Scam, we know how Scam players are. No offense if you're a Scam player watching this video, but I've seen some pretty questionable lines out of Scam players in the recent past. All right, they don't even think about it. Activate. Could have a Yawgmoth. You don't care. You're putting me on it. All right, you got your token. Your treasure. Another one. Hierarchs everywhere. Goblins everywhere. Look how much treasure Ragavan has. That guy is a thieving little monkey. There's so much treasure in this picture. It's not okay. Okay, they don't play the Hierarch out. That's a little strange. We will violin our second Hierarch and move to our turn. All right, put our Vial up to 2. I'm a little confused what they were doing. Ugh, we don't want another land. Another land is bad. So I think I'm in a position where I attack for 1, get a Grist, and then pass from there. I don't love having to do this, but I think we need to do something. I think we need to stop this Ragavan and do something. And Christopher is the man or woman for the job. Would have liked to draw that Yawgmoth though. It's always nice to see Grist in play. Never feels good when a card you want goes to the graveyard off of Grist activation. Unless you're playing against Living End. In that case, it's a little bit different. Alright, they shock. They fetch. They juke left. They juke right. What you got? Basic Swamp. I ain't scared. Blackleaf Cliff, still not scared. 3 mana. Grief. Fine by me. A very unimpressive turn. Wookfaced. Very unimpressive. Unless you have a Fury. In that case, I will be impressed. / scared. Okay. I spoke too soon. That was, I deserve that one. I deserve that one. Oops. Weird that they only hit the Grist for 3. A little strange, because if I draw... Oh, I forgot. They can still attack. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Alright. There are 2 cards. I am going to uptick this Vial. And I am going to play out my Blood Artist and my Overgrown Tomb and lose the game. Good old scam. F6. Do your thing. Do your thing, scammer. 3 mana. Blood Moon. Sure. Swing for 5. Sure. Okay, they exile land off the Ragavan. Thank you. Another question is, do we get... I think we uptick. Nice. Either Vial number 2. And from here, I actually don't think we can really win. Take a hit for 5, go down to 5. We're not in a very good position, we'll put it that way. I suppose if we find like a... Well, Geist we won't be able to play. A Wall of Roots. Well, they got themselves a Yawgmoth. Good for them. For some reason our opponent is thinking about whether or not they're going to cast this Yawgmoth. Ragavan stealing my treasures. Would have liked that one. That would have been really good. That would have been really, really good. Because we could have double blocked the Grief and then sacrificed the Blood Artist to kill the Ragavan and kill the Grief. It would have been nice. Alright, Vial. Yes and no. Always no to this Aether Vial. Always yield. No. Twilight Mirror is excellent. We'll play it and then we will concede. More lands. Not our game. Alright, against Scam, we are bringing Endurance, Scavenging Ooze. Ooh, I'm tired. Where'd that come from? 2 Thoughtseize, 2 Veil of Summer, and we're shaving most of these things. I'm not exactly sure how good Aether Vial is here. I think I'm going to shave 1 Vial and keep in an extra Hierarch. If Vial's not in my opener, I don't want it, so... Alright, we need to steal 2 in a row here to keep the 5-0 dream alive. Place your bets now in the comments section. Do we do it? Alright, we're on the play again. Good old Wookfaced. Alright, I think we keep it. And they keep their 7-card hand. Ugh. Play out a Verdant, pass turn. We're actually going to fetch basic here. Play around Blood Moon a little bit. Actually, I think we go non-basic. We go Verdant Catacombs. Theirs is better than mine. And we'll yield until the end step. I think I have to go Tomb here. Hope they don't have a Blood Moon. Alright, that's actually really good. So we'll get our basic now. Play our Geist, and we're going to swing for 2. So they didn't do anything. I wonder if they were putting us on a Veil of Summer. I wonder if that's why they didn't do anything on their first turn. Huh. I think that might have been why what they did and why they did it. So we'll see if we get punished. Well, not punished, but if we get served up on this turn. Served up scam style. 2 mana. Voidwalker. Sure. Yield to return. Draw. Not bad. Play out our swamp and swing for 2. We'll be able to flash in our Endurance on their turn. And then play in either our Sheoldred or our Yawgmoth, depending on what we draw on the following turn. We can deal with the Blood Moon if they have one. So we ain't scared. This card is so annoying. Like, why does it have to have Shadow? I mean, it kind of looks like it should have shadow, but at the same time, like nothing in Modern has shadow. Why you gotta give it to that guy? Not targeting anything here. Grist might not be a bad diversion here. Bad part about Grist is that that's annoying. I wonder if they have something like a Terminate. I'm actually going to lead on Sheoldred here. Let's see what they got. If they can kill the Sheoldred and the Voidwalker into play, I'm in like a reasonable amount of trouble. Okay, this is a Terminate. Yep. Okay, they don't want it. Sure. Alright, 9/9, tie game. 1 mana. Ragavan, sure. Okay, that's not bad. We're going to swing for 4 here. Put them down to 5. And depending on what they have, we will have lethal on the following turn if our Yawg stays in play. Question is, does it stay in play? If they have something like a Lightning Bolt, they just can swing, and then bolt us, which is lethal. Swing, swing. Okay. Sure. Block the Ragavan. Minus on one of the Voidwalkers. It's a weird attack, right? We're down to 3. See if they're slow rolling us. I have my concerns. Don't do it. Wook-faced. Ugh. Kind of thought that was coming though. I actually think we still win. Yeah, we're good. Fetch Dryad Arbor. Target the Grief. Proliferate. And kill. Hey, Mr. Youngwolf. See, Yawgmoth has this second ability where you discard a card, put counters on things, and then attack, and they scoop. Alright. Game 3. That was edge of your seat, high suspense, action thriller. It was intense. Game 3. I wonder if I go back up on an Evo. Like, Vial just seems so bad. I feel like I say that every match, but I feel like I always win with this deck, so whatever. Whatevs. Okay, game 3. We are on the draw. They mulligan to 6. I don't love this hand, but we're going to keep it and hope we can dodge some bullets here. And by bullets, I mean Ragavans, Grists, or Griefs, Furies. Basically every card in their deck is what we're trying to dodge. Alright, we did it. Dodged everything. Don't do it. Okay, we're good. Okay, that wasn't bad. Alright, we're going to lean on Thoughtseize, see what they're working with. The tables have turned. The Thoughtseize has become the Thoughtseizer. I think we get rid of the Voidwalker here. Keep them at bay. If they draw into like a scam spell, that would be bad. Turn off auto yields. Blood Crypt tapped. They're thinking. I guess they're debating whether or not they want to grief me. They do. Grief, discard grief. I imagine get rid of the Grist here. Like, Magus isn't that big of a deal. Oh, interesting. Okay. It's a little surprising. Get rid of the Thoughtseize. Endurance isn't bad. I'm going to play out my Verdant. I'm going to play out my Hierarch. And then we'll pass the turn from there. Feels like we're ahead. Doesn't necessarily mean we're going to win, but it feels like we're ahead right now. So we'll see how this goes. They could have something like a Seasoned Pyromancer, and I think that would get them back in the game. If they play out their Magus, they're going to be very limited with what they can cast. They'll shut off all their black spells, and they scoop. Oh, ooh-wee. 3-0. Let's go. All right, match 4. TheTunnelingCat. I know the name. Hammer Time, maybe? I don't know if they're playing Hammer Time, but we are on the play. 3-0 in this Modern League. A Vial build of Yawgmoth. If we had a Vial, this could be a keep, but we do not, so we'll mulligan. 6-card hand is going to be acceptable. We will put back Blood Artist or a land. They keep their 7-card hand. So turn 2 Wall of Roots, turn 3 Blood Artist. 1, 2, 3, 4 plus Chord. I think we can actually put back a land here. We'll do that. Alright, play out our Verdant Catacombs and pass the turn. Hopefully our Wall of Roots doesn't get discarded. If it does, this hand is not very good. and the whole putting back a land thing. Okay. So they're on Tron. Tron is always, it always feels kind of like a coin flip. They kept a 7-card hand, which my Tron opponents have been doing very frequently with me recently, which I do not like. Alright, feels like a turn 3 Tron. Alright, there's our land. I'm going to play out my Blood Artist here, and then pass turn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can get a Hapatra, which gives us an opportunity to just win, depending on what they do. Alright, so they just have natural Tron. 4 mana, this feels like a Karn. And then I wonder if they get like a Stone Brain or something. We'll see. I guess they could also get Pithing Needle. If they get a Needle, that would suck. Hopefully they get Stone Brain. Ugh. Alright, Needle. Needle, Needle. Alright, we're going to be able to kill the Karn, but Needle is just sucky. We can kill the Karn if I get the Dryad Arbor, but then I can't play out a Yawgmoth. I don't know if Yawgmoth really matters. Oh, that's so brutal. Okay. You got it. I guess I could just get like a Geist. I think that might be the right move. The Karn will stay alive, but what are our options here? I guess we could get Sheoldred next turn, but that's probably not good enough. Yeah, we'll pay the life. Alright, I think I'm actually just going to get Hapatra, and the hope is we draw Besaju right now. Not a Besaju. Alright, we're going to swing the Karn down to 1, and then probably lose on their turn. Karn down to 1. Don't really have much else to do here. Yawgmoth, land, no Besaju. And I think our board is probably getting wiped here. So they have 10 mana, 6 mana, Thought-Knot Seer. Oh, okay. So this is Eldrazi Tron, that's fine. It does kind of suck a little bit because their Karn isn't dead, but there's another Karn. A minus. What do they get? Cityscape Leveler. Yikes. Trample, non-land permanent. Got it. Alright, so we gotta draw a Besaju here. Besaju. Not a Besaju. Alright, I think we're going on to the next game. Yeah, I'm just gonna scoop it up. I don't think we're winning from this point. We're too far behind. Eldrazi Tron. We're gonna bring in our Haywire Might, our Thoughtseizes, I think a Force of Vigor, and a Magus. Those 5. Anything else? Veil of Summer is always an option because they do have Dismember, but I think that's a little on the narrow side. Thoughtseize, Might. Problem with Might in this matchup is that if they do have a Karn in play, you can't activate it. So that's one of those, like, one of the downsides to this card. I think their deck actually plays Urza Saga too. I think I'm going to bring in 2 Force of Vigor. Cards we're going to shave. Young Wolf is really bad. Vial is bad if they have a Karn. Once again, I feel like Vial is... Yeesh. We can cut a Wall of Roots. We're going to cut a Vial, a Hierarch. No, I want all my Hierarchs. I want all my Geists. Definitely want Hapatra. I want... oh, I don't care about Endurance. We'll get rid of both of our Endurances. Endurance Eye. Maybe only 1 Force of Vigor. Try it like that. I feel like maybe 2 Force of Vigor is right. Maybe we do that on the draw. 7's a little slow, but I think we're going to keep it. Depending on what they do. They mulligan to 6, they keep their 6-card hand. Okay. We're going to fetch Shock, and I'm going to Thoughtseize on turn 1. Pretty brutal for our life total, but... Alright, so they have Map, Reshaper, so they'll be able to cast the Reshaper on 2. Dismember, which I don't really think we care too much about the Dismember. I feel like Map is probably the card. Karn is really good against us too. Yeah. Oh, I meant to take the Map. That was a mistake. Oh well. Alright, we'll see how this goes. That was a misclick. I'm getting tired. I'm running on about 4 hours of sleep. Stayed up late last night getting you guys a video. And no, I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying. If I'm playing poorly, I'm going to blame it on that. Yavimaya into our Young Wolf, and we will pass the turn from here. So they drew into an Urza's Mind too, which is like double trouble with the map. Alright, there's a Matter Shaper. Sure. And we know 2 of the 3 cards in their hand. Okay, it's not a bad draw there. Get our grist down. Plus our favorite planeswalker slash creature slash insect thing. Conglomeration of insects. Pass the turn. Hierarch goes to the graveyard. Matter Reshaper. I think we're going to block with an insect here. And the reason I'm not blocking with the Yawgmoth is because they have the Dismember in their hand. They are leaving up the Dismember. Force of Vigor is not great. Alright, we're going to plus our Grist. Double trouble. We love it. You love to see it. Says 2, basically cheating. I know. We'll see how this goes though. 2 mana, they crack their map. Oh, I did not realize they have Tron this turn. Okay. So that's a little bit of a problem. You're attacking. And we're gonna let one hit our Grist. And now we're gonna chord for our Innkeeper. I could also get Hapatra. Hapatra doesn't really guarantee anything, so we're gonna get Innkeeper here. My opponent's telling me that they upticked a Grist in an insect tribal deck and they hit for 9 once. It's not too shabby. I'm telling them I played that deck once and it did not go so well for me. Did not have as much luck as they did with my Grists. Alright, Innkeeper, uptick. Good there. Play out our Twilight Mirror. We're going to attack with a couple of dudes here. Know about the Dismember. I think we're going to attack for 2. Alright, playing out our Yawg here. Only problem with our Yawg is it's going to get dismembered, but okay, play out their Blast Zone. They are attacking for 4 at Grist. Block, block. Okay. We're going to minus, we're going to draw a card. They're going to get to flip a card off of this this Matter Reshaper. We'll see what they draw. Oh, an Emrakul, the Promised End. Why? Nice to see you here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I wonder if they can cast this. If they can, this is just game. Yeah, that's game. That is called Draw My Deck. Alright, we're 3-1. It's an unfortunate end. Alright everybody, we are currently 3-1. This is the make or break match for our league, whether or not this is a successful league or just a mediocre league. We are playing against Skinny 99. We are on the play, and we are going to take that play and run with it. Our opening 7, I think, is a little slow, but I think this is a keep on the play. We are going to need some help, meaning drawing some lands, but I think this is okay to start with. They're mulliganing to 6 cards. We're going to lead on our basic forest and pass the turn. They did keep their 6-card hand. Let's see how Skinny 99 plays this out here. Basic island. I wonder if this is Merfolk. Got some Merfolk over there. Some fish. Beseiju is a good draw. I think we're going to go Peatland into Hapatra here, and then pass the turn. See if they got the fishes. We lost a fish, or I lost a fish in the last league that I played. Okay, this is Merfolk. So my hope is that we can beat them this time. That's what I hope. Silvergill Adept. I think a lot of Merfolk decks have actually cut this card. It's interesting to see it back here. They have a Master in their hand. Good to know. We do want to see another Black Source. That is a card. Something we do want to see. We're going to play out the Beseiju here, and I think I've got 2 lines here. I play out the Grist, more mana efficient play, or play out the Geist, which if I get Yawgmoth into play next turn, I think we're just going to play out the Geist, pass the turn. Like if we can just hit Yawg next turn, if we do that, it should be GG, depending on what they do and what they have. Even if we don't hit Yawg next turn, I think we'll still be somewhat okay. Like getting another Grist into play, or getting our Grist into play. Alright, they're tapping something, tapping down our Hapatra. Being tricky with our Hapatra. Doesn't really matter, to be honest. I guess if they have a Dismember in their hand, it would matter. Alright, we are drawing infinite Geists here. As long as they can't give their guys Island Walk, I think we're fine with that. Just leave our blockers back. They have 6 cards in hand. Last time I played against them, my mana, I got stuck missing my mana, so I'm hoping we don't do that here again. I just want a black source. That's all I want. Just want to wipe their board. Is that so much to ask? Black source. All right. Yes. A lot of damage we're taking here, but we can recoup it. Okay, their creatures do have ward. Other Merfolk. This one does not. We shall kill you. Okay, that's just game. As long as they don't have a force negation here, we just win from this point. Alright, no force negation. Got game 1. Cool. Save targets, always yield. So this is like super infinite with Blood Artist, Hapatra, 2 Undyers. We can do it all here. We can mow down their board. We can go super wide. Okay, they scoop. Thank you. Thank you for sparing us that. Against Merfolk, what do we want? I don't know if Necroplasm's too slow. I think it might be. Maybe on the play we'll bring Necroplasm in. I don't know how much we really have for this matchup. I think I'm going to bring in the Might, 2 Thoughtseizes, and a Force of Vigor. And then we're going to board out a Grist, an Endurance, and a Cord. Vials seems pretty bad too, but we might need to keep that in. I just don't know how much else that we have that's really that much better. Talking is hard right now. It is challenging. Get rid of the other Grist or the other Endurance. Evo. I think we shave an Evo. Alright, this 7-card hand is not great, but it's got some early game blockers. It doesn't ramp, it doesn't interact, but I guess it interacts if we hit our 3rd drop. I think we're going to keep it. I think it's a little on the weak side though. They're mulliganing to 5. Skinny 99 on 5. They're thinking. Okay, they keep their 5-card hand. Let's see what they got. Cavern. They name Merfolk, surprisingly, into an Aether Vial. I guess there's an argument for us to keep the Besage in hand, depending on what we draw. Basic Forest. Okay, Court of Calling. Not really what we want. Alright, I think we're going to preserve our life here. Play out the Besage into the Yawgmoth, pass the turn. Back to them, Aether Vial. They'll be ticking up here. How do we feel about this artwork on Aether Vial? I like it, but I'm loyal to the original artwork. I like how it's like a close-up of the guy with the vial. Alright, Lord of Atlantis. Sure. They have 2 cards in hand. We are looking for a land. We got a land, and it doesn't deal us damage, which is very nice. We'll play out our Geist. We will pass turn. Next turn we'll have our Grist in play. We'll be able to down-tick the Grist, kill the Lord, and then the following turn we'll have Yawgmoth, which I hear is good. We can also just Cord for like a Blood Artist next turn, and then put Yawg into play the following turn. 2 mana. Tide Shaper. Unfortunate. Is a 3/3 Island Walk. 2 cards in hand, 1 card in hand, 2 mana, or 2 tokens, counters, blah, can't talk. If you guys had $1 for every time I said that in this video, I'll be rich. Alright, so we draw our land, that's good. Overgrown Tomb. We would like to pay the life. We will play our Grist. They can't subtlety us, they only have 1 card in hand, so we will be able to get rid of this Lord of Atlantis. We will sacrifice... I wonder if we actually get rid of the Tide Shaper. I'm going to sacrifice the Yawgmoth. I think I might actually get rid of the Tide Shaper here. Lord without an army behind it isn't really that impressive, so I think I'm okay with them having a Lord in play. It doesn't have Island Walk, and they don't have any other creatures. It's literally just a Grizzly Bear, so an underwater Grizzly Bear. When is Wizards going to make the swimming mechanic? And what would be the text on swimming if it were a mechanic? What sorts of gameplay actions would that induce? 2/2 swimming. Can't be blocked by flying creatures. I think that's a given. Okay, 2 on the Vial, 3 mana up. I think we leave with an uptick on the grist. And our good friend, oh, there goes our Dryad Arbor. Good friend Yawgmoth is going to enter the fold. We will fetch, play out Yawg, and we're one short of just a kill at this point. I think I'm just going to pass. Okay, this is a dismember. I'm going to kill their lord in response here. It's weird they're doing this right now in the midst of combat. Right, there's Blood Artist. There's a Patron. I wonder if should I draw a couple more cards? Yeah, maybe. Draw one more. Alright, Thoughtseize. Not really what we want to see. Alright, we'll kill this lord, and then we'll swing for 3, I guess. Alright, there's another Yawgmoth. That's good. Yeah, the timing on that was very, very odd, because now, like, I wasn't going to attack, but now you kind of forced my hand into doing that, so I am going to attack, and you're going to lose some life now. And we're going to discard this Thoughtseize for obvious reasons, as they have a 1-card hand. Thoughtseize to the bin. So they have 1 card in hand. They didn't put anything in with Vial, and they did not tick up their Vial last turn. So to me that says that that's probably a land, or maybe like a subtlety, but I think they probably would have ticked up their Vial if that were the case. Might be another Dismember. They do nothing. Alright, pass the turn. Back to us. Alright, Wall of Roots is pretty good. So this turn I think we're just going to build out our board state. There's another double hit off of our Wall of Root, or off of our grist. So now we can actually, I think we can just kill. So we can play out our Blood Artist, we can play out our Hapatra, and then we could chord for Yawgmoth. Alright, so let's pull up the list here. Alright, so our Vial list pulled off a 4-1, and if I'm being honest, based on the way it felt, it kind of felt like it was in spite of Vial, not because of Vial. I don't think Vial really had much to do with us having success in that league. I don't think that this was like a card that shined throughout that league. And based on that fact, I don't think I'm going to be running Vial in tomorrow's list that I'm running in the challenge. So it would be Monday's video, which if you're watching this on Wednesday, you've already seen Monday's video, because of course you watch all of my videos because you like showing your support for me. Yeah, so I don't think I'm running Vial tomorrow. The rest of the main deck I actually really liked. Sheoldred came in handy in quite a few instances. Hapatra has continued to be really good. And then the sideboard Necroplasm was actually pretty good too. I might actually just keep this 75 intact, minus the Vials, plus 4 Birds of Paradise, and then dump the Chalices for Necromentia and maybe something else, depending on how I'm feeling. Maybe like Crime Punishment. I feel like Crime Punishment's good again. So maybe we'll go 1 Necromentia and 1 Crime Punishment. I might not play Magus either. We'll see. We'll see how I feel about it. But that's kind of what I'm thinking for tomorrow. So keep your eye out for that list, which I guess is already out. So you don't have to keep your eye out for. But list ran really well. I think it's still a strong list, but I don't know if Vial is the best card in the current metagame. I don't know if it's the best way to build this deck, in spite of how well it's been performing. I am clocking out for the day. As you have heard me say many a times, I am ready for bed. I'm tired. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to jump on tomorrow morning to stream the challenge. If you're watching this in the future, I hope you joined me. I hope it was successful. And then, yeah, I will see you all next time. There will be another video out on Friday. There will be a short out tomorrow, so keep your eyes out for those. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for watching this video. And everybody, I hope you are well and continue to be well. See you next time.